Bruce DelValle. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He's a constitutional law expert. He joins us now live from Maryland. Thanks so much for being with us. If you can, take us back to the beginning and tell us how this Gulen network first discovered that charter school loophole, I'm just going to use that term, and the opportunity to get U.S. taxpayers to fund this network to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Andrea, thank you very much. That's a great question. The charter school concept is fairly recent in the United States, and essentially it was born out of a perceived need to provide school alternatives in districts where children were being underserved. Poorer kids without as many resources weren't getting the education that they needed because they were living in areas where the tax dollars didn't exist. So the idea of charter schools was to provide an alternative, sort of a gap between a very expensive private school concept where education was paramount and the public school concept, which in some cases had simply become places to hold children during the day. Otherwise, they would be truant. And what I find striking about the Gulen concept is the Feto schools is the number of them. It appears as though there are upwards of 165 of them, and they have somewhere near, in the United States alone, and they have somewhere near 50 to 60,000 students. And what I find absolutely incredible is, as you say, they are funded by taxpayer dollars. And there have been some investigations into these schools which disclose that there is a strong preference, indeed, perhaps even violation of anti-discrimination laws, where Turkish nationals that are followers, obviously, of the Gulen movement get hired before local teachers get hired. That contracts get let out to Turkish national contractors. And the local economy doesn't really prosper as much as one would hope. And additionally, there appears to be some evidence to indicate that these schools do not, in fact, serve the lowest economical disadvantaged students. There's been analyses of the number of students that get free lunches as opposed to partially free lunches. It seems like the Gulen schools, where they equal their local community, is in partially free lunches, which means they're serving lower middle income students rather than the completely free subsidized lunches for the poorest of the poor students. So they're really not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Someone's not watching the ship, and someone needs to look into that. And I think the Trump administration needs to step up to the plate. I see a lot of how Feto and Gulen has been able to prosper has been because of a holdover of the prior Obama administration. As you may know, the Bush administration opposed Mr. Gulen's application for a green card, for a visa to become a permanent resident. They opposed it. He took it to court, and he won in federal court. So the Obama administration seems to have put itself in a position to, at best, to be charitable, disregard what's going on with Gulen, but perhaps even promote it. And once again, it's one of those things where I think the Trump administration needs to look more deeply into the deep state and take a stronger look at this, because Turkey is a very valuable ally of the United States geopolitically, socially, and historically, and we need to respect Turkey and Turkey.
But as you say that, Bruce, I mean, here's the problem. You know, in the process of building these charter schools, this charter school empire in the United States and in other countries, the question is, what U.S. politicians or powerful people were compromised in the process of building that network, because someone had to facilitate the entry of this network and a lot of the corruption that is involved in the running of those charter schools. I mean, you mentioned the teachers there that were brought in from abroad. Part of the reason we know they were brought in from abroad is because they were forced to give up to 40% of their salaries back to the Gulen network. So when you're talking about thousands of teachers being brought in, having to give up 40% of their salary, the network made a lot of money. That is corrupt. It could not have happened if they'd hired local U.S. teachers. Yet that was allowed to continue for years and years. So who do you think may have been compromised? Who was Gulen working with to continue functioning in that way?
I think there's an easy answer, but it may not be the right answer. The easy answer is it would probably be people that tend to be on the left of American politics, tend to associate with the Democratic Party. they tend to be involved with educational initiatives that avoid the efforts of what's considered to be the elite, the wealthy elite, the Catholic schools who have joined the wealthy elite. They didn't used to be, but now they are. I think the compromise has started from the local government down. It's sort of something where you could point your finger if you're a local official and say, hey, look, we have charter schools. That sounds really amazing. Charter sounds really mysterious and it sounds very special. It's not the same as the public school. It's a little different. It's almost like, wow, these kids are getting a special, fantastic education. And that education is something that needs to be more closely looked at. While there are some advances in the STEM programs that they offer, they do not appear to, in general, exceed the local educational mandates or performances of the public school. There are
Okay.
some blips here and there. They do. But so I think the short answer to your question is that there are people that are far too easy. They want to believe in something like this as an educational, something new and different, shiny.
Bruce, so I just need to go back to something you said at the beginning, though, because it seems a bit inconsistent. I mean, if you think people on the political left could have been more complicit in allowing this network to build this charter school empire, then that would be perfectly in President Donald Trump's interest to take it down. I can't imagine he would be in any way intimidated by whatever deep state elements in there if it meant bringing down his opponents on the left. He would do that, and yet he still hasn't. And the United States has been willing to compromise its relationship with Turkey, a strong NATO ally, in order to protect this man.
I will tell you this. Donald Trump has a lot of issues, a lot of alligators in the swamp. The deep state is there. He just needs to be focused on this issue. So far, no one has focused him. I think that Justice Department needs to look more closely at the extradition issue with Gulen. There is no excuse for it to be pending this long. I think Turkey can help themselves by perhaps continuing the trial in absentia and reaching a judgment against him and continuing forward down that way. But just because the deep state is there doesn't mean Donald Trump has wiped it out completely. He, one of the things as an outsider, he was perhaps too much of an outsider. He didn't bring in enough of his people, and that's part of his problems. He still has a Justice Department and an FBI that's antagonistic to him because he didn't do what every other president did before him, which is sweep everybody out and bring his people in. He simply didn't do that. And these are those problems.
Bruce, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.